You are listening to the Profitable Content Creator Podcast. This is the place where content creators come to learn how to create profitable content that positions themselves as an authority and grows their online businesses. Get ready to take your content to a whole new level with your host, Kristen Poborski.
One of the biggest mistakes that healers, coaches, and course creators make is trying to create content every single week, or on the other flip side is not creating at all. But today we're going to address why you don't want to be creating content every single week and my number one productivity hack that I use to help me create content and not get burned out. And that's the biggest reason why you don't want to do it, is you don't want to burn out, and doing it every single week is not efficient, and it leads to burnout where you don't want to do it at all. And the most important thing you can do for your audience is to show up consistently. If you look around in your industry, I'll bet that you see the top people have some method that they are creating content every single week. It could be a video, it could be a podcast, could be written content, but most people these days are really going the route of video and podcasts. So in my industry, I've got examples like Amy Porterfield and James Wedmore. So what do they do so that they avoid burnout and they keep creating content consistently even when they're on vacation or taking a break from their business? So their secret, and my secret too, really is batch creating their content. So I'm going to give you a quick peek into what I'm going to cover when it comes to batching and sharing why you want to batch create your content. So number one, how it helps you focus. Number two, how it relieves stress. And number three, most importantly, how it gives me freedom. All right. And you're going to want to stay till the very end, because I'm going to answer two questions today. One, I'm going to talk about exactly how I quickly create batch create my content. So I'm going to give you the steps to that. And I'm going to actually even share, if you're ready to outsource, I'm going to share what tasks you should be outsourcing and a few other things that you can do to automate your content so that you aren't stuck doing it 24/7 and it's working for you. But before we dive into that today, I'm going to give you a little introduction of who I am for those of you here today who don't know me. I'm Kristen Poborski. I am a content creator, but I also work with coaches, healers, and course creators to dial in their content creation strategy and implement it so that they can build their audience, turn them into leads, and paying customers. And I do that with one-on-one work, and I also do it in my programs, Smart, Simple Content Marketing and Creation. I also have a brand new course, Smart, Simple, Create Courses That Sell. And one of my favorite first courses is The Right Content at the Right Time, where we teach all the principles of great course content creation so that you can be seen and heard, build your audience, and get paying customers, okay? And I just want to give you a little backstory. I discovered the power of content creation back in 2014. And I was a struggling virtual assistant back then, working my fingers to the bones. And I realized my customers, my one-on-one clients, and myself needed a way to automate content creation in a way that made it easier for them and made it easier for me. And it created demand for their services and programs. So what out of that came from all of my hours of research and work was I figured out what went into creating content that aligned with their businesses and created demand, and I automated it. got me out of the 24/7 working for clients and them too, because it took a lot less time to create that content. And lo and behold, it started working. My client, Todd Krieger, it immediately doubled and it quadrupled his traffic, revived his dead list, and it started adding $25,000 to his bottom line yearly. And during the pandemic, his business didn't miss a beat. It actually even grew. He's been able to continue to raise his rates. They're like triple what they were originally. And he's got a waiting list right now of 6 weeks of people waiting to work with him. And he's been able to launch multiple courses that help him help his clients get more results. So let's dive into today's topic, batching, which is my number one productivity hack that I do and I teach my clients to do so that we can avoid burnout. Really, the first thing why I love batch creating content, and for those of you who do not know what batching means, it means taking the whole entire process and walking through each part of the process, but not doing it for one single piece of content. So right now is a good example. I'm filming content. I'm filming my content. And this is part of my batching process, but I'm sitting down and filming 6 to 10 videos today, all in one sitting, so that I'm not doing this every single week. And the reason why it's so good to do that in each part of the process, it allows you to focus on what you're doing right now. So before, when I was creating all my content, I was writing. And when I do that, I have a specific method I follow, but it helps me to dive in and really focus on getting a bunch of content, a bunch of scripts done, and in a focused time, and I'm way more productive. It's way more productive for me today to sit down with my videos and create my content in one sitting as well. And another tip that I do too is I take photos. So then at the same time when I'm creating all my video content, I'm taking photos. But it really allows me to just get in the flow. And it's super important when you're creating video content to get into the flow, because when you create that first video, you might not be as comfortable as when you get down to the third or the fourth video. You just get in the flow of things. It's the same thing with writing your scripts. At first, it may be slow, and then the more you get into it, and the more focused you get, the easier it gets, and more that the content just kind of flows out of your fingertips. Same thing with video. Same thing when I go to edit and all of that. I'm doing it all at once. I've got a system, I've got a method that I follow, and it just goes that much faster. Okay? So the next thing is it relieves stress. So having all this content done at once gives me a bank of content that I can pull from, and I don't have to rush around on a Wednesday night to get a video done and all put out there for a Thursday morning email. It's done in advance. I've got a bank. I can pull on it. It allows me to just feel a lot less stressed because it's all done in advance. That's what batching allows, okay? And then finally, it gives me freedom. So by having that bank of content and automating it and having it all ready to go, I can put I could go on vacation and not worry about what content's going out there, because I can just automatically schedule it and have it go out, and nobody's going to know if I'm sitting in Hawaii or I'm on the beach that day. It happens no matter what. And consistency and showing up with your audience is super important, especially with your email list and on social media and on your blog. It's just good business. If you look around at what other people do, they have their content going out every single week. But do you think they sit down and create it every single week? No, definitely not. Okay. So that in a nutshell, is really why you want to harness the power of batching your content. It relieves stress, it gives you freedom, and most importantly, you get focus when you're doing it, so it is that much easier. So if you're ready to start creating content that gets you leads, builds your audience, and turns them into paying customers, I've got the Profitable Content Creators Roadmap, and the link to get it is right down in the notes below. So let's dive into question number 1. Now, how do I batch my content? Now, I've kind of gone through this in the longer video, but I'm going to give you the shorter, to the point. Here's the steps that I go through. Number 1, I create a plan. I have it all laid out. I know what content I need to create, and I know how it fits into my marketing schedule or my marketing plan by month, okay? I've got it all laid out, right? So I got a plan. I've done my research. I know what I'm going to talk about. That all goes into the plan. Number 2, I write those scripts and I use a template. I have this system created, and this is what I use all throughout it. It's called the Rapid Content Creation System, and it all starts with a plan. You write a script, then you film it, just like I'm filming today. I'm batching my videos that I've already planned out. Then what I will do next is I will edit. And I have a method that I love to way I edit them. I keep it simple. I don't go crazy, but I get it done, and it's ready to go and get automated and put out. And then finally, I stream my content. I stream my content so that it goes out, because I'm all about video. And then I put it on my blog, and then it gets promoted and pushed out on social media. So it's as simple as that. But that's how I batch create it. And then it just goes to the streaming, and then from there it gets put out through the Rapid Content Creation System by my team out on social media and in front of my audience. Okay, so that's really what goes into it. And if you're ready to create content that helps build your audience, gets you leads, and turns them into paying customers, I've got that link to the Content Creators Roadmap, the Profitable Content Creators Roadmap, right down below in the notes, okay? So let's go on to question number 2. What content creation tasks should I outsource? Well, I'm going to start with what you shouldn't outsource, okay? The actual creating of the content, don't outsource that, because no matter what, they are not going to have the same knowledge as you do, right? So you definitely want to create your initial pieces of content. And if you batch create your content and you have a plan in place, it isn't that hard. But you definitely don't want to do that. I've even experimented with outsourcing content before. And I think last time I did this, it's been years, but I actually measured the traffic. And there's something that energetically happened that month. I can remember it was like a March, and March is usually like a big month where I get a lot of traffic, my content. My traffic dipped because I was doing written content and someone else was writing it. It says to me is people do not have the knowledge that you have, and there's something energetically that happens when it is not you, not your voice, creating your content. Now, I know there's copywriters and people who are content creators, but it's much better to never outsource that. So if you can get through the content creation and all of that, I would outsource everything after that. I would have them put it on your streaming service, put in all the comments, put all the copy in there. And if you're smart, like I do, and I use my Rapid Content Creation System, I use a specific template, a script. And I take that template and script and I actually plug that in as the description. So you could just hand that off to your virtual assistant. It becomes your YouTube description. You can use it for your blog post. Then you could even get a transcript done and have them do that and turn that transcript into social media pieces that get created on Canva, and add the copy from the transcript and push it out there on social media. So I would totally outsource everything I could except the actual content creation. So that's my answer. And don't forget, if you're ready to get started creating content that builds your audience, gets you leads, and turns them into paying customers, I've got the Profitable Content Creators Roadmap waiting for you right below. I've got the links in the notes.
You've been listening to the Profitable Content Creator Podcast, where content creators go to learn how to take their content creation to the next level. If you love the Profitable Content Creator Podcast, we'd love for you to subscribe, rate, and give us a review on iTunes. Until next time.